Hello, Gemini. Elsie here to do your weekly read. How you doing, Gemini? Hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. This week, what we're doing is we are doing three hands. So I'm doing career, finance, and love. That's what we're doing. Three separate hands for you, Gemini. Thank you so much for clicking here. I appreciate you. Happy New Year, friends, if you haven't been here yet this year. And for those of you who keep coming back and you're here all the time, I appreciate you so much. And for those of you who are brand new, if you've never been here before, look, if I'm all up in your business and floating through your feed anyway, maybe you just want to hit that subscription button. It would be lovely to have you as part of the tribe. Let's find out what's going here, regardless of whether you subscribe or not. Thanks for clicking here. Let's find out what's going on for you. We're going to do career first, Gemini. Find out what's going on for you, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. That's who I read for. It's the energies I read for. I am an energy reader. I'm not an astrologer. Just keep that in mind. Let's find out what's going on. Tell me about Gemini. All right, Gemini, we've got a big, bold move that you'll be making soon. I feel like somebody here is turning their back on whatever it is that made you sick, I'm going to say. I feel like somebody is in a toxic job or a job that was making them feel unwell. It feels like when you have to live for your weekends because during the week makes you sick. I feel like somebody here is turning their back on whatever is making them unwell and has decided to make a big, bold move. I think you're going to be making a big change in your career. And when I say a big change, I don't mean you're changing jobs from one to another, although it could mean that. The Two of Pentacles is here. It could mean a lateral move. That's sort of what that means to me when we're talking about career. Could be a lateral move, something that keeps you more in balance than you were. But it does feel like somebody here is turning their back, and the bold move, I think it is you're probably going to a job where possibly you're taking a bit of a risk, because the Queen of Wands, although resilient, is used to taking risk. I don't really care if I fall down. If I fall down, that's fine. At least I tried it, and I'm not going out of this life with the woulda, shoulda, coulda, right? So the Queen of Wands is going to take a risk, a managed risk, of course. But I feel like the bold move is you applying for some sort of career or job that is above your pay grade. And what I mean by that is you probably have the know-how. You probably maybe don't have, I would say maybe you haven't gone to college or university, or maybe you don't have any official certificates for this type of employment, but I feel like you have the know-how. I feel like you have a natural sense for it. It feels like somebody here is going to make a bold move. So you're either going to try and work out or apply for a job that is above your pay grade, or possibly you're going back to school, or possibly you're going to clear the career you're doing completely and move into something else completely different, because the Eight of Cups is about detachment. Look, I'm taking the feeling out of it. I'm going with fire. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go take a run at it. I know I'm resilient. It's fine if I fall down. I'll get up and I'll brush myself off and I'll keep moving. So Gemini, I feel like you are departing a place that wasn't making you feel very good. It almost feels like you were stifled there. I'm going to say that somebody here in the workplace, possibly it was somebody who kept their thumb in your head. Maybe you felt like you've reached a glass ceiling. Tell me more. We've got the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I think you've outgrown that place, is what it feels like. You were probably waiting for the right moment to make the bold move. And, whether this resonates with you today, tomorrow, next week, or a year from now, I don't really care. It feels like this is what's coming up for you in the future. I mean, it could be happening right now, but it feels like you've been waiting. And the Five of Swords is telling me that it's been a hard fight in the head. Do I turn away? Do I release this? Do I walk forward? Do I make the bold move? It feels like you're fighting with yourself. But for those of you who are leaving because it's making you unwell, I feel that you've had to maybe take some time off to heal from it. Maybe it's a mental health issue. It feels like it's something that's going on in the mind. So it feels like with the Five of Swords that there's something here that worries you, but also that you no longer believe in the company you work with, or you no longer believe in the career path that you're on. It feels like there is a fundamental difference that's come into play. I don't believe that they're moral anymore. I don't agree with their practices or their workings anymore. So it feels like you've been waiting for the right moment to make a bold move. I feel like you're turning away from something and you're doing it in pure adrenaline. That's what it feels like here. Yep, something is definitely coming to an end. It's something that I feel was, I want to say that when you began in this career, this job, it feels like it was good. it worked out good for the place that you were in at the time. But I want to say that over time, it felt like betrayal, like a silent betrayal. It felt like they did things just to hurt you. It feels like they, maybe cut back your hours, or they started to do things that were sort of interfering with you mentally. Maybe it became a mentally toxic environment. I've worked in one of those. I was in the corporate world for many, many years. And so it feels like somebody here has been waiting to make a bold move to get out of some sort of toxic environment here. Tell me what the bold move is. Tell me about Gemini. We've got the Page of Pentacles. So it almost feels like you're like, look, I don't really care what the new beginning is. Something's got to materialize. I've been holding back for long enough from making this bold move. There's something here I've got to do. If I don't change, nothing will change. So we've got the World card. Yep, something is definitely coming to a conclusion, my friend. It feels like you're wrapping something up, or this is going to be a really big milestone for you. You are achieving something that I feel that you felt was outside the realm of being achieved. It feels like you are going to be closing a chapter of holding back. I think you're no longer holding back. I think you're going to release the beast. I think the beast is the Queen of Wands. Whether you are the woman, the man, the feminine, or the masculine leaning energy, the Queen has both. And I feel like the energy I'm getting from the Queen is that it's time to fly. So it feels like there is going to be some sort of something that you are going to materialize. So in other words, it's no longer sitting in the mind. You're not thinking about it anymore. You're not waiting for it anymore. It's time for it to happen. It's time for it to materialize in the 3D. The Page of Cups Page of Pentacles is the one who is the messenger in the 3D. I feel like you walk into the place with your resume. It feels like that. So it feels like you are making a big move, something that you love, something that will give you balance and healing, something that you choose rather than something you have to do or have to go to every day. I think you are keeping it all under the surface, not telling anybody your plans, which I think is good because the King of Cups always works in stealth mode. I'm not telling anybody that I'm doing it. They're going to be surprised when I just hand in my resignation and say, I'm out of here. So I feel like you're wrapping up an old chapter and moving into a new chapter. And I feel like it's something that you have a lot of fire for. You're excited about it. You're taking a risk and it's a big, bold move. And I feel like you're just going in fire. I feel like you are taking all of the emotions out of it, but you're definitely turning your back on something. Let's talk about your finances. What happens from here? Tell me about Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about finances. Tell me about finances for Gemini. Finances. Exciting. Look at that. The Page of Wands, first card out. Everything is changing. Ooh, transformation. Look at this. You're busting yourself out of jail. Look at you. It's a jail of the mind. I feel like you were stuck in a place where, Gemini, I have to say that maybe this isn't for all Geminis because I never like to paint one sign with one brush on everybody. But my experience with Gemini is even though I'm a Taurus, most Geminis I know are so stuck. They're so stubborn. They don't want to make a choice. They don't want to make a move. They don't want to make the wrong move. And maybe it's the overthinking thing, right? Maybe it's this. It feels like you were in a prison of the mind for a while, but look at this. What's in the future? It feels like you are shaking down the whole thing and you are changing the game. There is something here that's happening. It's a transformation within you that's ending an old chapter, and you are pushing it all to the ground. The illusion that you wanted to be the thing that you were, or the illusion that it was working out for you. I feel like this is an awakening. There's going to be a tower that shows up, but I do really believe that you're the one that causes the tower. I don't think the tower falls on you. I think you cause the tower. So I think that you're going to be okay with it. Look, there's going to be fallout every single time, 100% of the time that a tower shows up. It's to break down the illusion, and the illusion means we have to see things for what they really are. So I feel like you get really excited because you're going to a place of healing. I feel like you took a really long time to make this decision because it's scary, but I also feel like you're the one that's overly analytical, right? So you're going to think about it again. You're going to get yourself in this place of the Eight of Swords for a bit. And I feel like it's taken you a long time to make this decision, to realize that even if I go off and get a job that's a lateral move, right? I saw the Two of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. To me, that's the lateral move. It's something that helps me get my balance, but I'm not necessarily making any more money than I was. But I think that this is a situation for you where you're like, I need to go. It's making me sick. I feel like you're moving to something that is going to, I think you're going to reassess your finances. You're going to reassess how much time do I have that I can live on my savings before I have to start panicking. It feels like you're moving to a place where you're healing your finances. I feel like you're quite excited about, quite curious and excited about what might be coming in the future. And I think that you're willing to move because I feel like you think that it will give you overall better mental health. We've got the Ace of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. Nine of Swords on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it does feel like there is, I'm going to say that your finances will be slowly growing through reassessment, through making sure that you are making good decisions. I would say decisions that serve you well in terms of how you're spending. The Queen of Cups is here. To me, that's the mother or the father. So I think it's making grown-up decisions about what is the best way to make things kindest, softest for you. How is it going to be the easiest? Because this path is going to be slow. I feel like if you are the person who has decided, look, I just got to go from the old job, I feel like your finances do even themselves out. I feel like you end up making more than you will be making, but it feels like it's going to be a soft move. Do you know what I mean? It feels like it's going to be slow. It's going to be passive. Maybe you need to get a passive income going. So anything that you can do, maybe it's something online, an online store. Maybe it's just taking a part-time job. Maybe it's something like that. But it feels like this is passive income that you're supposed to bring in. I feel like you have an idea, I'm going to say. It feels like you have an exciting idea, or you're feeling excited about the clarity that you've received. Because I feel like you stayed in the Five of Swords long enough. And I feel like the Five of Swords is a representation of fighting yourself about how am I going to make extra money? Bring in some passive income of some sort. So whatever it is that you have to do to make extra money, maybe one day a week at the corner grocery store. I don't know what it is, but it feels like you need to bring in some passive income a little bit. I feel like there's an exciting new path that's opening up for you financially, but it's going to be slow moving, understand. I feel like the finances do grow over the year, but very slowly. Don't expect something really quickly. You're going to have to explore whatever your mental health can hold. Whatever your mental health can hold down, I think you're going to have to explore new avenues of passive income. Tell me about the Four of Swords. We've got the Knight of Wands. We've got the Two of Cups in the reverse, the Knight of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. So you're not a stranger to hard work. I feel like you already have a skill. I think I already said that. I think you already have a skill that maybe doesn't have a certificate attached to it. Maybe didn't graduate from a program, but I think that you have probably the most valuable information. And that's the information that you get from working a bunch of different jobs. Like it's great to go out and get your education. I'm not minimizing anybody who goes for higher education or education through university or college. But I think that the valuable part of the way you've done it is that maybe you couldn't afford to go to school, but I feel like you have subject matter expert level industry level information, that you're somebody who's known for having a sharp eye, for a person who's like a money counter, or somebody who's good with finances or financial things. It could be that you are really good with analytics. Maybe it's a tech thing, but it feels like the Knight of Wands is telling me to tell you to go slow. This is going to go slow. The Two of Cups in the reverse says don't get too comfortable anywhere that you go, not just anywhere. Don't get too comfortable there, because you never know when you're going to have to go. You might end up dipping in and out of a couple things before you find the thing that you want, the thing where you fit, right? This is Virgo energy. Virgo has a very specific set of skills. I always say that. A very specific set of skills that fits in somewhere. And I feel like you have accumulated a lot of skills, and I feel like that accumulation is going to pay off for you, but in a slow way. So it's a slower way to build your financial future by not having any specialty. But I think that all the information that you have gathered over the years has made you the subject matter expert. So it feels like you finally get your balance after the ending of a cycle. So it feels like you are going for some sort of non-traditional work. I don't know what that means, So maybe it's just not the traditional 9 to 5. Maybe you're doing something like a night auditor. Maybe you're working overnight thirds, right? Maybe you're working third shift. So it feels like your finances are going to work out. I would say don't get completely comfortable in the first place that you move to. Make sure you make a careful, slow transition to wherever it is that you're going. All right. Let's take a look at love. After this, we're going to go into the extended. I do extend all of my readings. The love reading will go into the extension, and I'll tell you about that as soon as we're done this part of the reading. I'll tell you where to go to find the extension and private reads. Tell me about Gemini in love. Tell me about Gemini in love, please. All right. Got the 6 of Cups. Got the 10 of Wands. You're carrying around these heavy memories. What is this? It feels bittersweet. It feels like the 2 of Pentacles being in the reverse. I feel like you're carrying around some sort of bittersweet memories about the past here. I'm going to say that it feels heavy. I'm going to say bittersweet because we're looking at all of the tulips here. And I feel that although these are sweet memories, or you have good, it's like beautiful flowers, they're all colorful, they all are different. We have roses, we have carnations, we have tulips. It feels like you're having, in love here, that you have nostalgic memories of something that you did release, but something that has given you bittersweet memories here. It feels like you live there. You live there in the past in your memory here. The 2 of Pentacles is in the reverse, which tells me that I feel like you're trying to get your footing from this. I think that you are trying to release this or drop it. The 10 of Wands tells me that you can whenever you're ready, but I know that it's going to be hard to stop thinking about it because you're a thinker. Tell me more. I think it was a really long time ago. I'm looking at this person who's like in the foreground. The first person you see is the person laying on the ground, but then you see these little people. They feel like they're in the past. I want to say, like way in your past. I feel like it's taking you a long time to forget these memories, or that you're very attached to these memories. Got the 3 of Wands. I really feel like you're desperately trying to move ahead or move forward. And you're trying to get your footing. I don't know that you're necessarily ready for anything new in love at this time, but I think I feel like you continue to look into the future. Now, the problem with being stuck to the past memories is that you can't be stuck. You can never move forward if you're stuck to the past. If you're always waiting for someone to come from the past, there's no way that you can look forward to whatever is coming up. It feels like somebody here is stuck sort of in this place of, I'm waiting for somebody to show up, or maybe I just can't get the thoughts of whatever happened back there out of my head. So it's really hard to move forward. I feel like you're trying to find stable ground, that you no longer want to wobble with these thoughts. It feels like you're working really hard to get stability in your thought pattern so you can move forward. The 3 of Wands shows you as looking into the future, your future of a stable love. But I don't know that you're ready for it, to be honest. The Ace of Cups is in the reverse. I don't feel like you're ready to change your mind, to be honest. It feels like you're still in this Knight of Pentacles energy where you're still reassessing. Could this be viable again? Should I call that person? Should I contact them again? It also could be that you're in sort of woulda, shoulda, coulda energy, that I should have done that. I would have if. It feels like somebody is like feeling maybe the energy of, I don't feel like I can ever go back, but I don't really think I can move forward either. So I feel like you're in the middle of a place where you're not necessarily moving forward yet, but you're not necessarily going to the past. I don't think you want to go to the past, Gemini. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think you want to go there, but I think that it drags on you. Do you know what I mean? I feel like you're dragging it around off the end of the Knight of Pentacles horse here. Feels like you're dragging it around. The Ace of Cups is in the reverse because I don't think that you're ready for anything that's brand new. I think you want it, but I think you're going to have to bust yourself out of this place where you've walled yourself off. It feels like you're very blocked off to new love. maybe you're not as blocked off to passion, but I feel like you do want to move forward. There's 8 wands here, right? The Ace of Wands and 7 of Wands. But it feels like you're blocked off and you're going to have to fight to get yourself out from behind this boundary, huge boundary that you've created. So I feel like if love isn't showing up for you lately, it's because you're still stuck behind the fear wall, that you know that love hurts. Like she's got a bunch of thorns on her shirt. We've got the Ace of Wands and the 9 of Wands, which is 10. And so the 10 of Wands is here. I feel like it's time for you to drop it. But of course, it can't happen before it's going to happen, because the Knight of Pentacles is here, and that is reassessing, getting off the horse, maybe stopping, slowing down. Please don't stop. Don't stop trying to heal yourself. It may take a long time, but I feel like you will eventually drop this. Tell me about the 10 of Wands. We do have the Star. So you're hopeful. It feels like you are hopeful here that you will be able to find a stable love, find someone who is stable and grounded. You could have a placement that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We do have the 7 of Swords. Yeah, it doesn't feel like you're quite ready for a new relationship just yet, but it does feel like you're thinking about opening your heart again. I feel like you need to change your mind or change your heart or change how you are feeling about whatever happened in the past. Just because it happened in the past, it doesn't mean it happens in the future unless you haven't changed. I feel like you have to change first in order for the situation to change, or at least change the way you're looking at it. I think you're hopeful for something that's balanced, that's solid, that's grounded, that moves slowly. I think you're hoping for something like that, but it feels like you feel like the universe is lying to you. It feels like with the 7 of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles, why am I lying to myself? That's what it feels like here. We've got the 2 of Pentacles, which I feel is telling me that you're about to get stability in the near future. It feels like the future is coming up here, and you're looking into the future saying, okay, how do I get myself back on track so I can open my heart, so I can find love again? If this is you and you want to come into the extended and talk about that a little bit further, it looks like there is something that is going to materialize in the 3D in the future if you decide to will it. I think that you want to build something solid, a new foundation, maybe meet new people. 3 Pentacles are about friends, cooperation, collaboration, networking. So we're going to talk more about that. So if you're the person who is having a hard time letting go of this, it's just merely a thought pattern. It's just merely like changing your mind or changing how you feel about the situation. It feels like in the future, you're going to have to change the way you feel in order to be able to move forward. We're going to tell you how to do that. So if you want to come into the extended, please look at the top of the comments. There is a pinned comment that'll tell you how to get to the membership area if you're interested. That's where all the extended readings go. They go to the membership area. Also, there is a link in the pinned comment if you would like to just purchase this extended by itself, if you're interested in that. And if you're interested in a private read, please know that I do have private reads open. We do have, I do offer $25 readings. They go up from there. You can go click the link to Hypsee and take a look at my pricing and see what suits your needs if you're interested in a private read. I'm going to go for now, but I'll be back because I'm always back. Gemini, thank you so much for coming here and watching. I appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, and I'll see you in the extended if you are there. Bye-bye.